Hey everybody, it's Anders here. The video is quite long, so I thought I'm going to do a quick talk before it. In my previous videos, I got lots of comments, messages, and there were some sort of debates. So in this video, I would like to talk about some of these comments and debates, and of course talk about my experiences with the monitors as well. So anybody who doesn't want to watch the long video, here's what I've learned in short. You won't like the answer, but there isn't the right choice, there isn't a better one or wrong one, and this is something I'm explaining in this video. A tool that works for one might not work for the other, and vice versa. The monitor for me feels like the connection between the real world sound and the sound in my head, and basically the mix. I believe we all hear differently, and you simply need to find the right choice that helps with this translation, regardless of price range and brand names. It's one of the most important tools in our work. All right, everybody. So I thought I'm going to do a bit better quality video. So I'm using my Telefunken microphone. I think I've never ever got like so many messages about the Neumann versus LYD7. I don't want to call it versus because it's not about like one against the other. Oh, this is better or whatever. But before I do that, I want to say that there's a new video coming up about this microphone. And, well, check this out. Yeah, there's going to be a video about this mic. And sadly, I need to start with the 1%. So had to get my phone because I made a few notes. Anything you do in life, in general, like work, hobbies, there's always going to be that 1%. What I was trying to do in the original video was that basically I just wanted to capture my unplanned, true emotions, feelings, whatever, experience, with the Neumann and the Dynaudio when I got them. Guys, this is not a bad room. This is a studio I built. It's a project studio, not a massive big one. I usually mix and master. I produce stuff. I write songs for people, so I've got like rappers who get in touch. They want me to write them beats. I also got musicians who get in touch saying that, look, we've got this song, can you make this better, but can you add something? So I'm really good at making things better, not with just mixing and mastering, but like writing stuff. I do this full time. This is not a bad room. There's like a couch here. For people when they get in here. There's a recording room next to me, and this is the production room, basically. Basically, this is for people who have not, they've not taken the time to watch, the other videos. So guys, why the hell would I put down the Neumanns like sideways? I had no space for it, so I thought for the video it would look cool. So I put it on top of the Dynaudio, and then that's it. When I was testing them, of course, I swapped them. So I had the original position for the Neumann. So I thought it's fair to put the Dynaudio into the same position where the Neumann was. Because this way you're not really cheating, with the sound. Then I was moving them. I don't know if you ever tested, but by moving the monitors forward or back or wider, you can play with how much mid and side information you're hearing, or you can hear more or less bass. What I find these days that lots of YouTubers moved away from being honest. So when you're watching a YouTube video, there's basically two solutions you can find. So you find basically paid videos and unpaid videos, but what most YouTubers will do is just tell you the good things and the neutral things. They're not going to say the bad things, which is in a way fair, but instead of doing this, I thought, what if I capture my full like feelings, emotions, experience with the LYD7s and the Neumann the day I got the speaker? I got a few messages. I even got people who found me on Instagram or on Facebook and messaged me that, hey, could you say this? Could you tell me this? Could you tell me that? So I thought, what if I do another video? So this is absolutely unplanned. The only thing I planned was the list I've written down in my phone. And that was just about what I would like to address for some people. I feel like instead of, being like to each other. I think we should stick together because we are all in this business. You could be like on high level, mid level, or you could be just doing this from your home. End of the day, we do these videos to help each other out. So I felt like I experienced something, and what if I put this online so I can maybe help somebody with this? People spend too much time on fighting about like this is better than this, and then this is that's it, this is better, this plugin is better than the analog, this analog is better than the plugin. There's a good sounding mix and there's a bad sounding mix. If I show a song to my mom, she's gonna say that, oh, this is good or this is a bad song. That's it. I got a few messages from people who are like doing this full time like I do. And they were like, man, finally somebody said this. And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, look, we have the same thing with like units. For example, they have like warm audio and they also have Neve stuff. They both sound amazing. They are both good. We all agreed that there's no better or no wrong. You can use any unit for something. I could have a £50 microphone and I could have this, which is like $2,000. I can use both of them. There's always a purpose for every unit. And I'm saying this with like lots of honesty that your clients don't care. When you're busy, you don't have time to think that, oh, is this better than that one? You don't. You just want to make it happen. Can I make this work? Can I make this happen? Instead of having these debates and fights all the time and people like talking shit about each other in comments, we should stick together. And we should just say that, look, this works for me because, that works for me because. And I would love to hear that. I would love to hear people talk, and it would be awesome. We could be sharing experiences with each other. I don't want to sound naive. I know, like there's always going to be debates and fights. I just say that it's quite boring, and that's one of the reasons I quit. I'm not really reading like Gearspace anymore because people just fight all the time, and it's always the same. If you don't have something that's over 5K, then it's not good. Plugins are bad. Analog is good. If it's not this brand, or if it's not this price range, then that's shit. It cannot be good. Really? Like if your clients would care? My clients don't care what microphones I'm using. The reason I bought this mic, because it makes me feel good. It makes them feel in a way, and it has the sound I wanted. And then that's it. I'm gonna buy it. Yes, it's a higher price range, but if this was a different brand for like £100, I would still buy it and I would still use it because end of the day, like nobody cares what you're using. In short, I've used the Neumann KH120 for more than 2 years, I think, or around 2 years. So it takes a while to get used to the Neumann monitors. It's completely different. It's like a different world. It feels like you're in like a different dimension. Anything you do is not sounding how it's gonna sound in the real world. It's really hard to explain. You need to experience this. From the first day, I simply didn't feel like comfortable with the monitors. But I thought, it's just me. Maybe my hearing is not there yet. I need to progress. I need to be better. I need to experience. So I gave it time. Meanwhile, I was doing this. I've taken that monitor to other studios, other places. I've taken it to professional studios. I've taken it to home studios. And just for fun, we were comparing the monitors. The first reaction everybody had was, oh, where's the low mid? So I said it in the last video that the bass felt like floppy, like this. It's very, very gentle, very, very soft. You really need to learn it because when I thought, things are nice and soft and warm, it wasn't. You got that knocking effect, like very knocking effect on the kick and snare. In the real world, meanwhile, on mine, it sounded nice and pleasant. So that was one of the issue. The bass, low mid, it was just missing. I felt like it's fine, but I just couldn't really work with it. And if I want to check the mids, I've got an Oratone speaker. And when you play those things on the Dynaudio LYD7s, it's suddenly like hitting you in the chest, in the stomach. It's like, oh, it's too heavy. So it sounds like a harsh box, which I think could work because if you make it sound smooth on that speaker, then you're going to sound absolutely smooth in the real world. But still, after using it for 2 years, I felt like I'm not getting my results with it. And I thought, maybe it's the room. So I've taken it to lots of places, and then that was one of the things that 150 to 250 is sort of missing. It's very scooped. That's like the life in a song for me. So I think it's designed to be like that, which is fine. It's a type of speaker you could use for something. So I just felt like spending that money, and for me, like £1,000 is a lot of money, So when you spend that money on a speaker and you're not really getting the value out of it, I felt like, okay, it's time for a change. I thought, maybe it's time for the speaker to find a new home, because somebody else will love it, somebody else will make it happen, and then they're gonna love working with that monitor. So when I received the LYD7s, just looking at the size, like, you just can't compare it. The Neumann looks like a very tiny box, and the LYD is just this big, long, massive, box. So immediately you will know that, you're gonna get like tons of low end probably out of this. And that's what happened. But I didn't really care about the low end, the sub territory, because, I could have used my sub monitor. I was more focused on what do I get as a full package. So I did some mixes on the Neumann. I did some mixes on the Dynaudio, and basically I did the car test. I did the test on my AirPods. I've taken it home, tried it out on my home theater system. What I found was that the Dynaudio translates. So probably I was hearing things with the Dynaudio as I'm hearing it in my head, and the Dynaudio was helping me with the translation. So that thing I was missing from the Neumann, from mixing and sounding the same in the real world, was there. I was a bit worried about the top end, because on the Neumann it's like so harsh and so boosted, if I'm gonna miss that. Interestingly, it was quite the opposite. Since then, my low end is where I wanted it to be, my tops or highs are where I wanted it to be, and my mid is where I wanted it to be. I was playing a lot with the placement. I found the best position. I was playing a few references. I use quite a lot from Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar. I like Kendrick stuff because it's very, very mono. I'm sure they mix it in mono. So it gives me a great reference what's gonna work for the mids. I like Snoop stuff because it's nice and wide, and I'm also using lots of metal references like Dimmu Borgir, Lamb of God. I use lots of rock from like Lenny Kravitz, because you got those wide guitars, so it gives you an idea where your sides should be. So I was playing a lot with the speakers, and I found the best position for them. There was no cancellation. Well, probably there isn't. I've not checked it because I don't believe in EQ correction. All I know is everything I mix is everything where it should be in the real world. So when people check it on AirPods, people check it in the car, it's there. And this was my main issue with the Neumann, that every time I did a mix, it wasn't translating well. I always had to think that, okay, if I do this now on the Neumann, this is what's going to happen in the real world. And I realized I don't want to do that. I was really thinking about keeping them as a second pair of speakers, like something I could still use, because I feel like, they are still useful, but not as my main mixing monitors. But here's what happened, because lots of you asked what happened after the video. I sold the Neumann in 3 days. The person was happy with it. I was happy with it as well. They were technically new, so I think they made a great deal with those speakers. They were building an Neumann Atmos room, so it's going to be perfect for them. So just by using the Neumann and the LYD for a few days, I realized that this is the speaker. And keep in mind, when I was planning to buy my new speaker, I tested a few. I even tested ATC speakers. I tested Neumann, Adam Audio, KRKs. There's tons of brands and tons of speakers. Genelex as well. Yeah, Genelex I've tested. And I had a budget about 2,000-3,000 or maybe a bit more. And I went with them. The reason I wanted to go with them was that they are like very affordable. And I thought if this works out, I'm going to buy into like a more expensive version of Dynaudio later on the line, But at the moment, I don't even know if I need that. I'm planning to test out the 3-way version of this. I don't believe in 2-way 8-inch monitors. I feel like every time it's an 8-inch 2-way monitor, the mids are getting lost. And with this one, the mids are perfectly there. And I do believe that's the reason why Dynaudio's 3-way will work, because I think that has a 1-inch, 4-inch, and an 8-inch. So you're basically not going to miss those mids on the 8-inch one. But again, I have to test it. All I know is that this works at the moment. I've never had so many happy clients in my life. Everybody's just messaging me back that, man, it's great, that's it, no more revisions needed. And if I'm honest with you, I'm not really doing lots of revisions. Every time people get my mixes and masters, they're just happy with it. I always tell them that, just listen to it for a week, get back to me, and then I'll just, do the changes free of charge for you. But it just rarely happens. I think one of the main reasons is that I do ask like tons of questions when people get in touch with me. Send me references. Would you like a brighter mix? Would you like a warmer mix? Do you like a wide one? A more mono one? Whatever. I ask tons of questions from people. Meanwhile, these translate really, really well. So after 5 months, or more than 5 months of using the Dynaudio LYD7s, I feel like all my problems were sorted. I have a nice sub, I have a nice bass, low mids, whatever. It's all working. I don't care about brand names. I don't care about price ranges. All I care is, does this work? And it works. And then that's it. My whole purpose with these videos was to give you guys an honest opinion, an honest unplanned opinion about my feelings and emotions and experience with the monitors. It's not about saying that, oh, this is definitely the better one. I'm not going to say that, because that's not true. Because there's lots of you out there who this monitor is not going to work for. You're going to find something else. And that's fine. We are all here to share experiences with each other. Anyway, there's not a lot I can say about this topic. I had an issue. I looked into why I'm having an issue. I found the solution and I just went for it. And then that's it. But I still want to say that, don't buy into brand names, because I think today the world is too focused on that. Buy into something that works. And, when you look into your heart, you feel like, oh, okay, this is the one. And then it doesn't matter what the name is. It doesn't matter what the brand name is on that thing. End of the day, you need to enjoy what you're doing. You need to have fun and just use something that you feel comfortable with. Hope you enjoyed this, and hope there's something you can get out of this, something you can benefit from. I try my best to just share everything unplanned, just my raw, honest feelings and experience with these monitors. I just felt like talking about, addressing these things we have all the time about these debates and fights over comments and being nasty to each other, because end of the day, there's no need for it. We should just stick together. We are one big community, and, we all love and do the same thing. We love audio, and, we love doing audio and working with audio. So anyway, guys, have an awesome day and see you next time.